Have you ever noticed how it doesn't matter how hard you are on yourself about being late, you're still gonna be late? You can plan everything, do everything right. Sit there and go, okay, this time I'm not gonna be the one who shows up late. I'm not doing that again. And then you do that again. Maybe by a few minutes, maybe by a lot. But you're always the one. It's a whole thing about you. It's your thing. And everyone around you has decided that it means you don't care, that you don't respect their time, that if you really wanted to be there, you would have figured it out by now. But you know that's not true. If anything, you care too much. You've been killing yourself over it for years. So what is actually going on here? Why does this keep happening? And is there anything you can actually do about it? Hey, what's up? I'm Emma. I'm an ADHD coach and philosopher. I was diagnosed 20 years ago, and I've been studying ADHD ever since. Punctuality? Yeah, that's a pretty big one. Wouldn't it be nice if it were just one reason? If there was one specific thing you kept getting wrong, you'd know exactly what to fix. You'd fix it. Problem solved. You'd be the most punctual person anyone has ever known. But every single time, it's something different. Your brain and body have an absolutely incredible talent for keeping you on your toes. One day, it's the outfit. So the next day, you have your outfit ready. Very responsible. Very on top of it. Except that's the day your hair is a complete mess. A mess. And fixing it real quick? Not real quick. Nothing is real quick when you're in a rush. That's when everything goes wrong. Things start falling, which makes other things start falling. And now you're fixing all of that while things are still falling. It's a whole thing. So the next day you're ready for the hair and the clothes. Except now something else happens. And the day you're actually gonna make it on time, that's the day there's an accident on the road. And when there's no accident on the road, that's the day you get pulled over for speeding when you weren't actually speeding, which by the way did happen to me. At some point, it genuinely starts feeling like someone is doing this to you on purpose. Like the universe has a personal vendetta. You did everything right, and still something got in the way. Again, the traffic, the hair, the thing you couldn't put down, the spiral of small disasters that somehow only happens when you really need it not to. It feels coordinated. It feels cruel. And you're the only one it keeps happening to. But when you walk through that door, the person on the other side doesn't see any of that. They don't see the spiral or what it actually took to get there. And in their imagination, you were probably just standing around, frappuccino in hand, completely unbothered, just casually deciding their time didn't matter enough to hurry. Meanwhile, you were crawling commando style on the ground, trying and failing to win the war of arriving on time. Just two completely different realities on either side of the same door. And nobody's comparing notes. So whatever fight or situation that follows isn't really about being late. It's about two people who have no idea they lived completely different versions of the exact same moment. Being late when you have ADHD is almost never the same thing twice, which is part of why it's so hard to defend against. But there is something underneath all of it worth understanding. We're a little like dogs, and I mean this in the absolute best way. First of all, adorable, but dogs live completely in the now. What's happening later? Sure. They know about it on some level, but it's not of the now. It doesn't exist yet in a way that actually matters to them. And then you pick up the leash and it's immediately, completely, overwhelmingly real, all at once. No gradual buildup. That's kind of us. It's not that we don't know the appointment is coming. We know. But knowing something is coming and actually feeling it coming, those are two completely different experiences. The ADHD brain really only moves when it feels something, not just when it knows it. So the 3 p.m. thing is sitting in our head all day. It just doesn't have any weight until it's basically already on top of us. And that creates two options, neither of which is great. The appointment swallows your entire day. You can't focus on anything. You're just sitting there waiting, watching the clock, completely consumed by something that hasn't even happened yet. Everything gets put on hold, or you don't let it swallow your day. You do your things, you live your life, but then you don't realize it's time to leave until you're already late because you were busy. You were in the now. There's no third option where you just exist normally and then smoothly transition into leaving. That one's not really on the menu for us. Nobody ever actually says this when they give you the genius advice of just leave earlier. Getting into focus when you have ADHD is not easy. You don't just sit down and you're in it. It takes time. It takes whatever combination of things your brain needs on that specific day. And when you finally get there, when you're in it, tearing yourself out of that to go sit somewhere early doing nothing is a real loss. Not a small inconvenience or whatever, a real loss. Because you know, and your brain knows, that when you come back, you're probably not getting back in. Not like that. Maybe not that day. Every time you have to go somewhere, there's a fight. Attention on one side, punctuality on the other. You can't fully win both. You pick one every time, whether you realize you're picking or not. Sometimes when it feels okay to be a little late, You choose attention. You give yourself the time to disconnect properly. Not a sudden shutdown. More like when you shut a computer down the right way instead of just yanking the cord right out of the wall. You need that winding down. And when something is genuinely high stakes, you flip it. You yank the cord because you know the difference. We always know the difference. My husband is about as neurotypical as a person gets. Organized, type A, oldest sibling, basically a human calculator and calendar. For him, time is something you work with. He plans around it, protects it, builds buffers into it just in case. He won't agree to do a walk with me right before a work meeting, even if there are hours in between, just in case. For me, time is more like a current. You're either in it or you're not. Tearing yourself out of it costs something that nobody on the outside can see. So when someone says, just leave earlier, what they're actually saying, without knowing it, is just give up the thing that was hardest to find, just so you can sit somewhere and wait. And they can't understand why that's such a terrible trade, because for them, it isn't one. I don't hear people talk about this part. Every time you've been late to the same place, the same person, the same obligation, something builds up. Not in a dramatic way, just a layer at a time. And eventually, there's this weight around the situation that starts showing up before you even leave the house. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't say, I don't want to go, or I'm dreading this, or this feels hard. It's way quieter than that. It just creates a slight drag, a gentle pull towards staying exactly where you are. And it whispers very softly, it's fine. You'll make it this time. You can't argue with it because it never made a statement. It just slowed you down a little, and by the time you notice it, you're already late. Usually this is the worst with people closest to you, because that's where the longest history lives and the heaviest weight. And it has nothing to do with how much you love them or care about them or respect them. It has everything to do with how much is already sitting there on you every time you're trying to leave. Every single time you have to disconnect yourself from something to go somewhere, there's a fight. Attention on one side, punctuality on the other. You can't fully win both. You pick one every time, whether you realize it or not. And that drag, that quiet thing that slows you down without saying a word, the moment you can feel it happening in real time, you have something you didn't have before, because it doesn't announce itself. It never has. It's been running underneath your whole life without your permission. But if you can feel it, you can start to choose. You know lucid dreaming? Some people can train themselves to realize mid-dream that they're actually in a dream. And the moment that clicks, oh, this is a dream, they can start to influence it. But you can't jump straight to controlling it. The first stage is just noticing, just realizing you're in a dream. That's where the ability to do anything about it actually begins. You have that focus fight. You have that Russian roulette of being late, Russian roulette. All of that has been running in the background your whole life. And if nobody named them for you, you've been kind of living them as personal failures, as proof that you're really as bad as people say. The moment you can start feeling it happening in real time, even without being able to stop it all yet, that's where change starts, because you can start asking yourself what you're choosing between and what it would give you, not in theory, to actually get there on time. That's the beginning. And for a lot of people, it's the first one they've ever had. If this resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs it. Like it and subscribe. Socrates said, "To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom." I'll see you next time.